The iPhone 17 Pro is still weeks away from its official debut, with Apple likely to unveil the iPhone 17 lineup on September 9th, but that hasn't stopped the internet from buzzing about. A strange twist, a dummy unit of the iPhone 17 Pro has been spotted, and instead of running iOS, it's running Android. Yes, you heard that right, an iPhone running Android, a whole month before launch. Now, before you think Apple has lost its mind, let's be clear, this isn't the real iPhone 17 Pro. In fact, according to experts, it's not even a close copy of the real thing. This is just one of those early dummy units that pop up before big launches, often used for case fitting, display purposes, or just to stir the pot online. The leak comes from reliable tipster Sonny Dixon, who shared 3 interesting images. The first shows a plain phone box with a black iPhone printed on it. The second image reveals a silver device with the famous Apple logo on its back. And the third? That's where things get interesting. The screen is turned on, and at first glance, it looks just like iOS. The home screen shows familiar Apple icons like the App Store and Safari. From a quick look, you might think it's the real deal. But here's the catch. According to Sonny, this device is running Android. And the proof is hiding in plain sight in the clock. On the dummy unit, the time is displayed as 5:20. That might not sound strange until you remember how Apple does it. In iOS, the time never shows a leading 0 for single-digit hours in English language regions. So you'd see 5:20, not 5:20. This is true whether you're using the 12-hour format or the 24-hour format. Android, on the other hand, often includes that leading 0 in 24-hour format by default, unless you manually change it. 5:20 is the standard way it appears in the system interface and notification bar. That little difference is a dead giveaway that this so-called iPhone is actually an Android phone dressed up to look like iOS, probably using a third-party launcher, custom icon pack, and Apple-style theme. But the clock isn't the only detail. Raising eyebrows, Apple fans have also pointed out another flaw: the bezels. On this dummy unit, the bezels around the display are noticeably thick. This doesn't match up with what we're expecting for the real iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max. Based on credible leaks, Apple is working on making the bezels even thinner than the iPhone 16 Pro series. So, these chunky borders are a clear sign we're not looking at Apple's final design. This situation is a good reminder that not everything we see online ahead of a big product launch is accurate. Dummy units like this can be fun to look at, but they're often based on rough design leaks or pure guesswork. Sometimes they even mix real details with completely made-up ones. In this case, the result is a silver iPhone with Android running under the hood and bezels that would make Apple's design team shudder. Of course, these kinds of fakes also show how much excitement builds before a major Apple event. People want to see what's coming next, even if it means getting tricked by clever lookalikes. And to be fair, it is kind of wild to see an Android phone wearing an iOS costume so convincingly that you need to look at the clock format to figure it out. As we get closer to the iPhone 17 Pro's launch, we can expect more leaks, more speculation, and yes, probably more fakes. But the real device will almost certainly have the clean iOS 26 experience, a premium design with ultra-thin bezels, and none of these Android quirks. Apple likes to keep some surprises for the big reveal, even though in recent years, it's been harder to stop leaks from spilling out. Still, there's always at least 1 or 2 features or design details that don't get confirmed until Tim Cook and his team take the stage. So while it's fun to examine these early dummies and spot the little giveaways, like the 5:20 clock, it's worth remembering that the final iPhone 17 Pro will be a very different story. September isn't far away, and that's when we'll finally see what Apple has really been working on. Until then, enjoy the pre-launch chaos. Just don't believe every leak you see. Some of them, like this Android-powered iPhone, are just here for entertainment, and in this case, it's doing a pretty good job of keeping the tech world talking.